It's a family tradition, as Harry and Meghan prepare to tie the knot at Windsor Castle. Buckingham Palace reveals the 15 other royal couples who chose the same venue. Prince Albert, the future Edward VII, and great-grandfather of the Queen, was the eldest son of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Albert, known as Bertie to his family, met Danish Princess Alexandra at the cathedral in Speyer, Germany in 1861. He proposed the following year. The future king became the first of 5 of Queen Victoria's children who would marry at St. George's Chapel. 1866, Princess Helena and Prince Christian of Schleswig-Holstein. Just 5 years later, Prince Albert was followed by his younger sister Princess Helena, the 5th child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. She became engaged to Prince Christian on December 5, 1865, and the couple married in the private chapel at Windsor Castle just 7 months later. The princess was given away by her mother, Queen Victoria, who added a white mourning cap to her black mourning dress. 1871, Princess Louise and the Marquis of Lorne. Princess Louise, the 6th child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, married John Campbell, Marquis of Lorne, heir to the Dukedom of Argyll, at St. George's Chapel 5 months after becoming engaged in October 1870. On the wedding day, Louise wore a wedding veil of Honiton lace that she designed herself and was escorted into the chapel by her mother and her 2 eldest brothers, the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Edinburgh. Princess Louise later became known as the Duchess of Argyll. 1879, Prince Arthur, Duke of Connaught and Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia. Princess Louise, the 6th child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, married John Campbell, Marquis of Lorne, heir to the Dukedom of Argyll, at St. George's Chapel 5 months after becoming engaged in October 1870. On the wedding day, Louise wore a wedding veil of Honiton lace that she designed herself and was escorted into the chapel by her mother and her 2 eldest brothers, the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Edinburgh. Princess Louise later became known as the Duchess of Argyll. 1879, Prince Arthur, Duke of Connaught and Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia. Princess Frederica, daughter of King George V of Hanover, and her fiancé Baron Alphonse von Pavel-Ramingen were both born in Germany but chose to marry in Windsor. Alfred Tennyson, the poet laureate, wrote a quatrain in honor of Frederica's marriage, focusing on her relationship to her blind father, who had died 2 years earlier. After their marriage, Frederica and Alphonse lived in an apartment at Hampton Court Palace and were frequent guests at Windsor Castle and at Osborne House. She was buried at Windsor Castle. 1882, Prince Leopold, Duke of Albany and Princess Helena of Waldeck and Pyrmont. Next of Queen Victoria's children to marry at Windsor Castle was Prince Leopold, her 8th child and youngest son. Leopold married Princess Helena Friederike, the daughter of Georg Victor, reigning Prince of Waldeck-Pyrmont at St. George's Chapel in April 1882. On the wedding day, Princess Helena was given away by both her father and her brother-in-law, King Willem III of the Netherlands. Leopold suffered from the blood disorder hemophilia, which led to his death just 2 years later at the age of 30. 1891, Princess Maria Louise of Schleswig-Holstein and Prince Heribert of Anhalt. Just 25 years after her parents married at Windsor, Princess Maria Louise exchanged vows with Prince Heribert at St. George's Castle. Princess Maria Louise was the daughter of Princess Helena, daughter of Princess Victoria, and Prince Christian. Prince Heribert was the 3rd son of Frederick I, Duke of Anhalt and Princess Antoinette of Saxe-Altenburg. 1904, Princess Alice Mary of Albany and Prince Alexander of Teck. Less than a decade later, Princess Marie Louise's cousin, Princess Alice Mary, also chose Windsor Castle as her wedding venue when she married Prince Alexander. Princess Alice was the daughter of Prince Leopold and Prince Helena. Prince Alexander was the brother of Princess Mary, the Princess of Wales, later Queen Mary, consort of George V. 1905, Princess Margaret of Connaught and Prince Gustaf Adolf of Sweden. Queen Victoria's granddaughter Princess Margaret also followed in the footsteps of her parents, the Duke of Connaught and Princess Louise Margaret, by choosing to marry at Windsor Castle. She tied a knot with Prince Gustaf of Sweden, who would later become King Gustav VI Adolf of Sweden. She died 30 years before he ascended the throne. The couple met when they were both visiting Egypt and reportedly fell in love at first sight. After marrying, they honeymooned in Ireland before settling in Sweden. One of Margaret's wedding presents was the Connaught tiara, which remains in the Swedish royal jewelry collection today. 1919. Lady Helena Cambridge and Major John Gibbs. Lady Helena was the daughter of Adolphus Cambridge, a great-grandson of King George III and younger brother of Queen Mary, the consort of King George V. In 1917, Adolphus, formerly Duke of Teck, gave up his German titles to become the first Marquis of Cambridge. Lady Helena, his third child, married Major Gibbs of the Coldstream Guards at St. George's Chapel. The couple had no children. 1957, Anne Abel Smith and David Little Granger. Anne, a granddaughter of the Earl and Countess of Athlone, married David Little Granger at St. George's Chapel. In 1904, the Earl and Countess, then Prince Alexander of Teck and Princess Alice Mary of Albany, had also married at St. George's Chapel. 1992, Lady Helen Windsor and Timothy Taylor. After a break of more than 30 years, royal weddings returned to Windsor with the nuptials of Lady Helen Windsor and Timothy Taylor. Lady Helen is the daughter of Edward, the Duke of Kent, a first cousin of the Queen. Timothy is an art dealer. 1999, Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones. Prince Edward, the Queen's youngest child, married Sophie Rhys-Jones, now styled as the Countess of Wessex. Edward's two older brothers, Prince Charles and the Duke of York, acted as his supporters during the service at St. George's Chapel. After the ceremony, the newlyweds rode in an open, horse-drawn carriage around the town of Windsor. The Countess is said to be a favorite of the Queen. The couple have two children together, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn. 2005, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles married in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall. Afterwards there was a service of prayer and dedication at St. George's Chapel. The service was attended by the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, and was led by the Archbishop of Canterbury. 2008, Peter Phillips and Autumn Kelly. Peter Phillips, the eldest child of Princess Anne and Captain Mark Phillips, married Autumn Phillips, a Canadian management consultant, at St. George's Chapel. The couple became engaged in July 2007 after meeting at the Canadian Formula One Grand Prix in 2003. Before their marriage, Autumn converted from Roman Catholicism to join the Church of England. The couple are now parents to Savannah and Isla Phillips. In 2018,